Josesito, the 6-time champion of the world. I'm chilling right here with my boy Calderon, man. And keeping it funky, baby. You know how we do, pound for pound, the greatest.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. This Saturday, January 26th, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, it's the return of welterweight WBA, the real champion of the division, Keith one-time Thurman, taking on tough veteran Riverside Rocky Josesito Lopez. This is a matchup where it's been over 2 years that Keith Thurman has stepped into the ring, and now he makes his return back onto the 147-pound welterweight division to claim his throne as the best and the #1 guy in the division. And Josesito Lopez is coming off a very good, solid win against a contender in Miguel Cruz, where he defeated Cruz and now puts himself in this position for a very good title shot opportunity. And it's an opportunity for Keith Thurman to shake off the ring rust in a very tough fight against a solid contender in Josesito Lopez, who's a veteran in the sport and comes to fight always. And he's going to be ready 100% to push Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has been out of the ring, like I said, for over 2 years because of injury and also personal reasons that he hasn't stepped into the ring. Now he's looking to return, getting into shape and getting ready for this fight to shake off that ring rust and put on an excellent performance. This fight is going to be taking place on Fox Television Network, so all the boxing fans can see this fight on free television. Now, this is going to be a very excellent action-packed fight in Brooklyn. Keith Thurman, he's more of the boxer-puncher. This guy sets up a very nice jab, works the angles, and also puts his punches together very nicely upstairs and downstairs. He likes to go to the body. He has very hard-hitting punching power, even though he hasn't been that one-time Keith Thurman that we have been accustomed to seeing when he came up into the welterweight division. Now, he's been going the distance. A lot of people question, is he really still the #1 welterweight in the world? Because many feel that Errol Spence is the #1 guy now that holds the throne in that division. And I have to disagree. I believe that Keith Thurman, who unified the division, the WBC and WBA titles, is the real #1 guy in the division and the man to beat. He did not lose that WBC title in the ring. He gave up that title. It wasn't taken away from him. He gave up the title because he was inactive. And the two guys that fought for that title, Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia, are two guys that he beat at the top of their game in back-to-back years in very good fights, and he deserves the title as #1 welterweight in the world because of that. You know, he's still the WBA champion. He's defending that title against a solid opponent. It's not an easy picking fight. It's not a cherry pick. It's a guy that's solid, that's coming off a good win over another top contender, and he's going to bring it because he has the experience, he has the tremendous heart, and he's going to really show where Keith Thurman is right now in his career. Is Keith Thurman the same fighter he was before the injury and before the layoff? And I believe so. It's going to take a few rounds for Keith Thurman to really settle in and start to box, because he's going to go toe-to-toe right away, because Josesito Lopez is going to be right on him from the minute the bell rings. This guy is no nonsense. He's going to push the limit. He's going to attack the body. He's going to throw and let his hands go. And Keith Thurman is going to fight right back, because Keith Thurman is that type of fighter. Tremendous heart. He likes to bang. He likes to go toe-to-toe. He likes to go for the knockout. But he's going to have to settle in sometime in this fight and try to pick his man apart. Use those legs, use the movement, start using the jab, and start pulling away in this fight to go into the later rounds where he could take this man apart and then knock him out with a spectacular punch, because this man has tremendous punching power. But Josesito Lopez also has a very solid chin. He has been knocked out before against Canelo Alvarez, but Alvarez obviously was a much bigger man when Josesito Lopez fought him. He's been in there with a lot of other good, solid fighters. So this guy has tremendous experience, and he's going to use that experience, that toughness, and that heart to really push Keith Thurman to what we want to see if Keith Thurman is still a top guy in the division, and can he look impressive in this fight. I believe that this fight could be ending in a stoppage victory for Keith Thurman, or it's going to be a 12th round decision in his favor, because he hasn't been in the ring for so long. It's going to take a while for him to get back to where he's at. But if he comes out with a knockout victory, then it will be an impressive performance by Keith one-time Thurman. And that's what we hope to see. We want him to claim his throne as the #1 guy in the division. I'm a Keith Thurman fan. I like Errol Spence a lot. That's a big fight. You know, Terrence Crawford, I believe, is the best fighter in the welterweight division, but he has to prove it, and he hasn't proven it yet. But these guys have big fights that are going to come up. You have Errol Spence taking on Mikey Garcia. Some people think that Errol Spence is going to walk right through Mikey Garcia and believe that this is an easy picking fight. A lot of people believe that Terrence Crawford is going to knock out Amir Khan and believe that's a very easy fight for him. And these guys are in good matchups with good fighters, but it's one that they're favored in, just like Keith Thurman is favored to beat Josesito Lopez. So all these guys are staying busy. These are the 3 top guys in the division. You also have Sean Porter that's out there, the WBC champion right now, and he has a mandatory to face Keith Thurman this year once he gets past his mandatory fighter, and then also Keith Thurman gets past a Josesito Lopez. But there's another guy that's out there that just fought over the past weekend, and that's the biggest star of the division, the money man, which is Manny Pacquiao, who is 40 years old and put on a very good performance against Adrian Broner. Now, that fight against Broner was a fight where we all expected Broner to lose. We expected Broner to be Broner, the same guy that he always is in big fight opportunities. He goes out there and he doesn't throw punches. He doesn't let his hands go. He did look good in spurts in this fight where he looked sharp. He landed the right hand on Manny Pacquiao. He looked quick, but he didn't throw the volume of punches that he needed to. Manny Pacquiao in this fight, I gotta be honest, I like Manny Pacquiao a lot. I'm a fan of Manny Pacquiao, but there was something in Manny Pacquiao in this fight that I didn't see in the Lucas Matthysse fight. In the Lucas Matthysse fight, he looked much better. He looked sharper. He looked like he was the explosive Manny Pacquiao from back in the days. But like I said in my previous video before, it all had to do with Lucas Matthysse, that he was a shot fighter and he wasn't the fighter that he once was. And that's what helped Manny Pacquiao look the way he did in that fight. We saw him against a better, younger fighter that was sharper, in Adrian Broner, and there were spurts in there where I saw Manny Pacquiao didn't look all that great in the fight. He still looked very good, very solid. He still had the hand speed. He still landed, but he looked like he was trying to go for the knockout early. He looked like he wanted to impress the American fans that he hasn't fought in the United States in over 2 years. He wanted to prove something that he could knock out Adrian Broner. Broner has a great chin. Much respect to Broner. You know, he made it to the 12th and final round. He was delusional at the end of the fight because he swore that he won this fight. I gave him no more than 3 rounds. The first half of the fight, he was competitive. He was landing, he was winning those 3 rounds that I gave him, and I had it by the 6th round as an even fight, 3 rounds apiece. A lot of fans thought I was crazy when I was posting up that this fight was even through 6 rounds because I saw Adrian Broner having some good moments in the fight where Manny Pacquiao was swinging a little wild, a little crazy, trying to knock this man out. He did miss some shots, and I saw some glimpse of the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao, where I believe that if Floyd Mayweather comes out of retirement, even at this age and this stage in his career where he hasn't really fought tough competition, I believe that Floyd Mayweather, if he trains hard, he gets into the ring with Manny Pacquiao right now, it will be the same results as the first fight, and he will outbox Manny Pacquiao because I saw Adrian Broner land some clean right hands with some good defensive skills, and Manny Pacquiao was just not looking all that impressive to me in those rounds. But then in the second half in the fight, Manny Pacquiao started to settle down. He started to land his left hand. He started to wail away on Adrian Broner and have Broner in big trouble. And then Broner's punch output just dropped even more. And it looked like he stopped trying. It looked like he was trying to survive because he kept on looking at the clock and trying to see how much time he had left because he just wanted to get out of the round and make it to the 12th and final bell, just to say that he went 12 rounds with the great legend Manny Pacquiao, and he picked up a great big payday in the biggest fight of his career. Now he's labeled as a definite gatekeeper in the sport of boxing. A 4-time division world champion, one of the youngest to do it. This man right here is definitely not a real future Hall of Famer in my book, but he will make it into the Hall of Fame just on his accomplishments, that he was able to beat B-level guys to win world titles and was never able to win a big significant fight against an A-level class fighter. And that's just my opinion about Adrian Broner. much respect to him because he was able to step into the ring and do what he's able to do throughout his career, which was sell tickets, get opportunities because of Al Heyman to win world titles and make a lot of money doing it. So hats off to Adrian Broner, respect to him, you know, but this guy is definitely now a gatekeeper in the sport of boxing. Big fights on the horizon. He'll probably get another opportunity out there because he has a great manager / advisor in Al Heyman and the PBC brand. He has a big enough name to get another big fight. But as far as Manny Pacquiao, Pacquiao at 40 years old is not the Pacquiao that he once was. If a guy like Mikey Garcia is able to get past Errol Spence, that's a fight opportunity right there for a guy like Manny Pacquiao. And also Danny Garcia, I believe, is definitely a front runner for Manny Pacquiao once he gets past Adrian Granados. And that's a fight where I believe that Manny Pacquiao will beat a guy like Danny Garcia just the way he did against Adrian Broner. But we won't see Manny Pacquiao in the ring against a guy like Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, the two young top guys in the division. Now, Keith Thurman, this guy is the WBA real champion, and Pacquiao holds a secondary WBA regular title. This fight right here could be mandated by the WBA organization just because of the fact that it brings a lot of money to the table. It's bringing both of their champions together, which they've been promising us for quite some time, to eliminate the other titles and make one title for the division instead of having the interim, the super, and the regular. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But this fight right here between Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao could possibly happen, and a lot of people would be surprised that Manny Pacquiao will be going up against a guy like Keith Thurman. It's a big fight opportunity for Keith Thurman. It's one that Keith Thurman, I'm sure, is going to call out, you know, at the end of his fight against Josesito Lopez, because Keith Thurman wants that big payday. He wants that big name on his resume, and it's a very good opportunity, like I said, for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is young. He's much, much bigger. He's a harder puncher, but Manny Pacquiao is an awkward style for anybody in the welterweight division, no matter who they are, to go up against. But can he beat the rest of the welterweights in the division? And that's something that he signed to PBC for, not only for the Floyd Mayweather fight, which is possibly going to happen later on this year in 2019 if Floyd makes that announcement. And that's a possible fight that it could definitely happen if Floyd Mayweather wants it to happen. And I think he wants that big payday. So I expect that fight to take place later on in the year. But like I said, the front runners is Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and also Mikey Garcia if he's able to win against Errol Spence. But that's my final fight analysis on the fight that's going to take place this Saturday on Fox Television Network with Keith One-Time Thurman taking on Josesito Lopez, and my fight recap of Manny Pacquiao. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that red subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Hit that like button, that share button, drop a comment. Also follow me on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, and also join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.